Cross back to the Committee on Local Government Accounts, and this time they'll be receiving a submission from Samfya Town Council, and this is on the consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the audit of the accounts of local authorities for the financial year ended 31st December 2023. Keep watching Parliament Television, the only station that brings Parliament closer to you.
Begin with introductions. So you may begin, CS, and thereafter the members will introduce themselves later.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Hanson Kachenjela, Council Secretary for Samfya. And Chair, with me I have 5 members of staff, except I should plead to mention my director will not be with us for works because he's burying his father today.
Our condolences.
So I can allow my auditor, then my acting director finance, then director planning, and the chief procurement officer to also introduce themselves.
Proceed, please.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. Enoch Mgala is my name, Internal Auditor for Samfya Town Council.
Good afternoon, Chair. Emmanuel Mungera is my name. I'm the Acting Director of Finance, Samfya Town Council.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Naomi Tembo Piri, the Director of Planning.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Aretha Tsenga, Senior Procurement Officer, Samfya Town Council.
Thank you, Auditor General.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, CS and your team. My name is Daka Godfrey, Director Office of the Auditor General, Luapula Province.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, Samfya Town Council, and welcome. I am Pythias Simukonda from the Auditor General, Luapula. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I am Lovinda Sinyani from the Planning and Research Department in the Office of the Auditor General. Thank you.
Minister of Finance.
Good afternoon, Chair and honorable members of the committee. Good afternoon, Samfya Town Council. My name is Oscar Nyarenda from the Office of the Accountant General.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members of Parliament. Good afternoon, CS and team. My name is Andrew Sivare from the Office of the Control of Internal Audit. Thank you.
Local government.
Thank you, Chairperson, and good afternoon to you and the honorable members of your committee. Samfya Town Council, you are welcome to this session. Kazinga Kennedy from Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Thank you.
The Commission.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members. Afternoon, CS and your team. I'm Fabian Mukea from Local Government Service Commission. Thank you.
Secretariat.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, CS and your management team, and you're welcome. Emmanuel Walia from the Office of the Clerk.
Honorable members, from my far right.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson, and good afternoon, everyone here. Samfya Council, you are welcome to your committee. My name is Elliot Kamondo, Member of Parliament from Fumbwe constituency.
Good afternoon, CS and your team. I'm Singombe Edgar, representing the people of Dundumwezi in Kalomo, Southern Province. You are welcome to your committee. Thank you.
Welcome, Samfya, to your committee. I'm Honorable Dr. Aaron Mwanza, Member of Parliament for Kaumbwe constituency in the Petoke district of Eastern Province. Thank you.
Honorable colleagues logged in online. Mangango. Honorable Member for Mangango. I think there are network challenges. Okay, I'm Pavyuma Kalobo. I represent the good people of Sakile constituency, Kitwe in the Copper Belt. Privileged this afternoon to chair this meeting on behalf of the chair and the vice who are attending to other national duties. So CS and your team, you are conferred with immunity arising from Cap 12 of the laws of Zambia. This immunity insulates you from being prosecuted or using the information that you are going to submit here before any court of law. But should it be found that you intentionally choose to mislead this committee, the same Cap 12 can be used against you. However, that is not the intention. The intention is to level the field of interaction so that you freely interact and submit to this committee. So you are free. You have 20 minutes to speak. Let me give you 25 minutes because I've seen your submission is too huge. 25 minutes to speak to your document. You may proceed.
Yeah. I would take you to page 2, which is issues starting from page 1. Chair, there is the item 61.1A, budget income and expenditure. We have query A, local taxes. Cause of the query, the observation by the Auditor General reflected in the report for local authorities operations during the period ended 31st December 2023 regarding the negative variance of 497,897 on local taxes was noted. However, the local authority wishes to report that the negative variance was due to resistance of taxpayers to pay property rates as a result of revised rates, among other adverse economic challenges they encountered. Action taken on the matter, the observation made by the auditor.
So on the action taken there now, you go to paragraph 3 where the word is starting, the sentence is starting with however.
Thank you, Chair, for the guidance. However, the local authority proceeded on to engage shareholders through sensitizations, bulk SMS reminders through Zamtel mobile service provider to encourage payments and conduct loud hailer announcements. Further, the local authority embraced its correction strategy by engaging court bailiffs in the correction of property rates to non-compliant taxpayers. The current status indicates taxpayer favorable response that was achieved by December 2024, whereby the local authority managed to collect 758,618. Chair, I've given an appendix there. On remedial measures, the local authority has put in place a billing system through Zamtel bulk billing for ratepayer reminders. Then it has enhanced the open door policy for engagement with the stakeholders and will proceed with use of bailiffs in enforcement of local tax compliance. B, Chair, it's the fees and charges. Chair, the observation by the Auditor General.
Again there, you go to the second sentence which begins with however.
Thank you for the
and
guidance.
You proceed in that fashion, you avoid what is up. You begin where you have put however, that is where your response are beginning.
I get the guidance, Chair. May I proceed?
Yes.
However, the local authority wishes to report that the negative variance on fees and charges was as a result of completion of property processing procedures that include numberings and surveying and opening up of the property locations with services like the roads for ease of property developers to pay and access. On action, Chair, I proceed. However, the local authority went ahead to complete the numbering and surveying of 455 properties situated in Mwense area of the Samfya district of the province of Luapula of Zambia, on which the budget was based, and subsequently opened the area with roads under the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources support, and the said 455 properties have been advertised to the public for development, with the result of favorable progress in the realization of plot premium and the associated application fees. The local authority has so far realized a sum of 438,500 from 17 different developers, giving good hope for continued positive response. Chair, I have supported that with Appendix 2. On remedial measure, the local authority will endeavor to only float the properties for development in planned areas. Once all land exercising processes, that is numbering and surveying, are complete, and basic services provided, that include roads, water, and electricity services. On C, Chair, its licenses. Because of the query, however, the local authority wishes to report that the negative variance was due to the local authority lapse to recognize and implement regular update of the revenue database to aid in correct estimates for budget input on locally generated revenue to do with liquor licenses. Action taken. The local authority recognized the error on the correction of liquor licenses due to an oversight on the update of revenue-based estimates. Since at the time of budgeting, most of the liquor licenses that were area issued were still valid, respecting the 3-year validity period for liquor licenses. In order to have the correct budget estimate, the local authority has since updated its revenue base and is able to estimate the correct budget input to do with liquor licenses. Appendix 3 is attached. On remedial measures, the local authority will continue to recognize and regularly updating the revenue database to have correct estimate input into the budget. D, which is on levies. The observation of the Auditor General in the report for local authorities for the period ended 31st December 2023 regarding the positive variance of 16 on levies was noted. This was a positive, Chair.
In what?
It was a positive in terms of corrections.
You are saying in terms of 16. 16 what?
16,086.
Okay, proceed.
Thank you, Chair.
There are people following you on TV and the radio.
I get the...
So when you just say 16, you say 16,000, you mentioned the figure. Thank you.
I be guided, Chair. However, the local authority has been delighted for the cordial support and response by the taxpayers, which should unwaveringly continue as development partnership contributions. The positive achievement on levies came as a result of local authority shareholder engagements through radio announcements and other inside revenue collection initiatives that include use of revenue task force to enhance revenue collection after the fish ban during the year under review. The same approach, Chair, has been maintained to ensure growth in the locally generated revenues. Chair, we attached Appendix 4. On remedial measures, the local authority will continue to recognize and embrace partnership support of payers through provision of services and maintain an updated database for personal levies and tracking the potential contributions on the fish and grain levies to have the correct estimate input in the budget that takes into account potential positive economic support. It's on the permits, Chair. The observation by the Auditor General in the report for local authorities operations during the period ended 31st December 2023 regarding the positive variance of 73,414 of permits was noted. This is a positive, Chair. However, the local authority has been delighted for the increased economic activities coupled with cooperation and support by taxpayers, which was realized through stakeholder engagement, sensitization through the radio, as well as initiating billing system which, with support of the cooperating partner GIZ on the revenue collection enhancement system and provision of equipment. Other in-house initiatives used were enhanced revenue collection approaches by use of revenue task forces, which has improved cooperation with the taxpayers. The local authority wishes to maintain the same approach for the broadened collection of locally generated revenues. Appendix 5 is attached, Chair. Remedial measure, the local authority will continue to maintain a cordial relationship with payers through service provisions, engagements, sensitizations, as well as maintaining an updated database for business permits and certificates to have the correct input estimate into the budget to take care of the economic activity tracking at the local level. Chair F, it's on commercial venture. The observation by the Auditor General in the report for local authorities operations during the period ended 31st December 2023 regarding the positive variance of 10,589 on income from commercial ventures was noted. Chair, this is a positive. However, the local authority has been delighted for the boom in patronage, support, and compliance of partners towards the efforts of the local authority in improving its hospitality services at Samfya Beach Road by rehabilitating the conference facility, improving stocking of assorted beverages for refreshments and catering for lunches, and the positive response towards the government policy which set in institutional patronage, enhancing measures aimed at sustaining and developing hospitality industry through the secular. Thus, the positive collection was enforced or enhanced as a result of local authority efforts and the government policy to sustaining and revamping hospitality ventures through ordaining all government institutions to utilize hospitality services that include conferencing, accommodation, and meals from government facilities, among others. The local authority wishes to maintain the same approach for broadened locally generated revenues. Appendix 6 is attached. The remedial measure, Chair, it's the local authority who will continue to embrace innovation strategies that uphold and sustain hospitality industry, and will endeavor to put in place the budgetary tracking system through regular budgetary reviews, since the demand for hospitality industries in the districts are ever fluctuating. G, Chair, it's on other receipts. The observation by the Auditor General reflected in the report ended 31st December 2023, positive value 144 on the other receipts was noted. Actually, the local authority has been delighted and appreciative of the boom in economic activities, and hence recognize the revenue sources by issue of receipts to all the feasible sources, of which their magnitude value could not be precisely determined, being intermittent in nature. And so, to be itemized as other receipts, which included hire of conference hall by the Ministry of Finance, interest gained on revolving account, binding documents, and other income which included beach vending permits paid by traders who take advantage of events happening along Samfya Beach. The local authority would wish to maintain the same approach for broadened collection of locally generated revenue. Chair, have attached Appendix 7. And on the remedial measure, the local authority has put in place the budgetary tracking system through budgetary reviews to provide warning to budget adjustment, since intermittent income may be expected and recognized at any time during the subsistence of the budget cycle. H, it's on Government Equalization Fund. Chair, the observation by the Auditor General reflected in the report for local authorities operations during the period 31st December 2023 regarding a negative variance of 221 on equalization fund was noted. However, Chair, the local authority discovered and recognized that the deductions, including the variance, were deduction of funds at source for LASIF, Zulao, and FIRSU's payments, which were made by the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Appendix 8 is attached. The local authority has put in place the budgetary tracking system through regular budgetary reviews, ledger updates, as a warning to budget adjustment, since intermittent expenditure may be expected and recognized at any time during the subsistence of the budget. Chair, I wish to proceed to page 9.
Please do. I think page 13.
Thank you very much.
Page 13.
Thank you very much, Chair. Let me proceed on to 13. 13, Chair, it's failure to spend. It's 12. It's 12. Because 13, it's on the deliverable inputs. The response, Chairs, for 13 are starting on page... on page 16.
Proceed.
Thank you, Chair. The management response, Chair, to the table starts with the street lighting. Percentage is 13. Cause of the query. The cause of the query was due to committed and spent funds. The local authority has first spent 126,992.45 ingwe for installation of 4 solar lights at Mwense Market, and the remaining amount was to settle electricity charges to ZESCO, powered lights, and other associated costs, which could not be spent due to load sheddings. Chair, the remedial measure, the local authority will continue maintaining the street lights and keep on adding installation of new solar street lights. Community centers, it was at 58%. The cause of the query was due to inadequate funds. The local authority wishes to report that it has managed to construct a market shelter at Mwera Market, which is 100% complete under capital component of the equalization funds. Chair, the local authority will remain committed to ensuring that programs are implemented before the end of the year. Roads and drainages, the cause of the query was due to inadequate resources at the time. The local authority wished to report that following the procurement of the earth-moving equipment It has managed to open up roads in Mwense area and feeder roads within the district. Chair, the local authority will continue to provide the service of road maintenance and drainages. 2 local elections, which was only done at 8%. The cause of the query was due to unspent funds. The local authority wishes to report that it had budgeted to conduct by-elections as a result of resignations for ward development committees in the year 2023. However, for the period under review, there was no resignation, Chair. The local authority will remain committed to ensure that programs are implemented before the year ends. Legislative function, it was at 73%. The cause of the query was due to inadequate resources. The local authority wishes to report that 27% difference was due to salaries for the councillors and the council chairperson, which were only paid in January 2024. On page 17, Chair, I proceed with socio-economic planning, which was at 72. The cause of the query was due to inadequate resources. The local authority wishes to report that it planned to train ward development committees on cross-cutting issues such as gender-based violence, HIV/AIDS, climate, and disability. But due to insufficient funds, the activity could not be fully undertaken. However, Chair, the program has been included in 2025 budget. On spatial planning, 73% was done. The cause of the query was due to unspent funds. The local authority wished to report that the remaining 30% difference was due to costs associated with numbering of plots and the advertisements, which was done in 2024. Number 4, it's cemetery and the funeral services, which was at 38%. The cause of the query was due to unspent funds. The local authority wished to report that it is in a process of establishing a cemetery in the district. Most of the funds budgeted for clearing the cemetery were not used, especially for clearing the said land. The clearing will be done in 2025 after establishing the cemetery. Health inspections, it was at 60%. The cause of the query was due to unspent funds. Chair, the local authority wishes to report that the allocated funds were not fully utilized due to load shedding, which resulted in a number of businesses closing down, especially butcheries, liquor licenses, to mention but a few. Pest control, it was at 5%. The cause of the query was due to inadequate resources. The local authority wishes to report that it has included the pest control in the 2025 budget. Pollution control, which was at 12%, Chair. The cause of the query was due to inadequate resources. The local authority wishes to report that it has included the pollution control of water supply in 2025 budget. On waste management, Chair, it was at 41%. The cause of the query was due to the delayed procurement of the waste collection equipment or tractor. Chair, the local authority has since procured the tractor. Appendix 9 can be referred to. Water supply and sanitation services, it was at 25%. The cause of the query was due to inadequate resources. The local authority wished to report that it has included the program of water supply and sanitation in its 2025 budget. Local economic development, it was at 25%. The cause of the query was due to inadequate resources. The local authority wishes to report that the IDP was finalized, approved, and it's in use, Chair. trade facilitation and licensing. It was at 83%. The cause of the query was due to inadequate resources. The local authority would wish to report that it has continued sensitization program on importance of trade activities. 6, Chair, it's the public relations. The cause of the query was due to inadequate resources. The local authority wishes to report that it has included the procurement office equipment for public relations section in the 2025 budget. Procurement management, Chair, was at 70%. The cause of the query was due to inadequate funds. The local authority wishes to report that it has included the procurement office equipment for procurement section in its 2025 budget. ICT, 7%. The cause of the query was due to inadequate resources. The local authority wishes to report that through the support of GIZ, 3 computers were procured for billing system. Audit management, it was at 52%, Chair. The cause of the query was due to inadequate resources. The local authority wishes to report that it has included the procurement of office equipment for audit section in its 2025 budget. Accounting management was at 62%. The cause of the query was due to inadequate resources. The local authority wishes to report that through the support of GIZ, 3 computers were procured for the billing system. On sports promotion, it was at 62%. The cause of the query was due to inadequate resources. Chair, the local authority wishes to report that the budgeted funds for 2023 devolved component of sports promotion was only received in 2024. The 62% represents the local resources used for sports. So far, we have spent, Chair, 149,646 on sports promotion. Appendix 20. On registration of marriages and deaths, it was at 0. Chair, the cause of the query was due to inadequate resources. The local authority wishes to report that it embarked on the community sensitization on the importance of registering marriages and deaths. The activities included in 2025 budget. Adult literacy, Chair, it was at 0. The cause of the query was due to inadequate resources. The local authority wishes to report that following the measures put in place to enhance revenue collection, which includes erection of revenue collection barriers, it will be able to meet its target in 2025. Appendix 20. 9, Chair, its support to indigent people, which was at 0%. The local authority did not have adequate resources. The local authority wishes to report that following the measures put in place in revenue enhancement, it will meet its target in 2025. On 10, it's building regulation. The cause of the we were at 32%. The cause of the query was due to inadequate resources. The local authority has since allocated 1 vehicle for building inspections from the vehicles that came from the Ministry of Transport following devolution. We have vehicle registration number ALL6652. Community policing, 39%. The cause of the query was due to inadequate resources. The local authority wishes to report that it has come up with a training program for the council police officers to be trained in the first quarter of 2025. We have attached the program. Fire protection services, it was at 83, Chair. The cause of the query was due to inadequate resources. The local authority wished to report that it has come up with training program for fire officers to be trained in the first quarter of 2025. On 11, revenue mobilization, Chair, the cause of the query was due to inadequate resources. The local authority had budgeted to procure a vehicle for revenue mobilization from the projected sale of plots, which did not materialize then. However, the local authority has allocated a specific vehicle from its fleet for revenue mobilization, vehicle ALZ 508, it's appended. On revenue enhancement, Chair, we were at 72%. The cause of the query was due to inadequate resources. The local authority has managed to implement revenue enhancement strategies through the support of GIZ, such as billing system, bulk SMS, radio programs. Chair, I will skip 20 and go to 21, where we have the response for management of non-current assets, construction of West Sunny and Sandy Road. The cause, Chair, the cause, however, the local authority observed that there was a lack of focus on the fulfillment of the memorandum of understanding, terms and conditions by the parties, whereby the local authority on one hand overlooked to prepare and process for transfer of the specific property named plot SAM 891 covered in the agreement for exchange with the lodge facility built on the local authority property SAM 890 by Workers' Compensation Fund Control, and the Workers' Compensation Fund Control, on the other hand, failed to expressly deliver the constructed facility to the local authority, as was a term to be performed. Chair, on the action, the local authority, in fulfillment of its obligation under the agreement, has proceeded on to secure the transfer entry of the subject property, plot S. Let me just repeat that. It's plot 891. I'm sorry for that. The numbers are transposed. It's supposed to be 891. I read it again. The local authority, in fulfillment of its obligation under the agreement, has proceeded on to secure the transfer entry of the subject property SAM 891 in the name of Workers' Compensation Fund Board through an application to the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, and has fully paid consideration fees, whereby the properties are now in the name of Workers' Compensation Fund Board, and the local authority being deservedly competent to take up absolute ownership and control of the constructed facility for the hospitality operations, Appendix 10. The medial measure, Chair, the local authority, having fulfilled the terms of agreement, entitling it to exercise absolute ownership of the constructed facility, will now operationalize the lodge facility, since it has already secured a resolution to lease the facility, as the outlay capital involved to run the lodge by itself is well above the local authority budgeted provisions for 2025. And secondly, the local authority has seen positive confidence by an unsolicited expression of interest by prospective leasees, which indicate it would be easier to operationalize the lodge once the formal selection procedures for settling on the right leasee are concluded. Chair, the next one is the delayed construction of a ablution block at Yongoro Market. Because of the query, however, the local authority wishes to submit that the delay was as a result of failure by the contractor to timely deliver materials in bulk to the site. Due to the terrain, spells and in floods caused by the rains. Sorry, Chair, let me just read it. However, the local authority wishes to submit that the delay was as a result of failure by the contractor to timely deliver materials in bulk to the site due to that sand in the dry spells and floods covered by the rains during the rain season. That's the situation where the project is. Action taken. Wishes to report that the said road, among others, was refurbished. As a result, it enabled the contractor to get reorganized in terms of material delivery to see the project progress to the current 90%. The pictures are exhibited there, Chair. On remedial measures, the authority will endeavor to take into account the state of material delivery passages or roads with regards to seasons and terrain, respecting where the project will be executed, in order to ensure that projects are implemented within the stipulated contractual time to avoid delays. Cross-cutting issues, Chair. It's on audit opinion. Management acknowledges the observations made by the auditors and wish to indicate that the local authority managed to have unqualified audit opinion for the period under review. Remedial measure, the local authority will continue to prepare financial statements in accordance with applicable financial standards and regulations to ensure compliance, accountability, consistency, and transparency. Appendix 2, Chair. It's on budget, funding, and expenditure. Chair, the local authority wishes to acknowledge the observation made regarding the unspent funds amounting to 2,786,533. The local authority wishes to repeat the response given above, that the local authority wishes to acknowledge the observations made regarding unspent funds of 2,786,533. The local authority wishes to report that the unspent funds were committed funds for the proposed construction of a council chamber at the Civic Center at a cost of 1,100,000, salaries amounting to 575,963.79 ingwe for the month of December, then procurement of a tractor at a cost of 570,313.62, and funds for uncompleted ablution block at Yongoro Market amounting to 205,379.7 ingwe. Action taken on the matter. The local authority wishes to report that a tractor was procured, salaries were paid, and part payment was done for the construction of an ablution block at Yongoro Market. As for the council chamber, the local authority wishes to state that it could not proceed with the planned construction of the council chamber after it came to attention that the provincial infrastructure officer had established that it could cost 4,400,000 to undertake the construction to completion. Further efforts by the local authority to secure top-up funds from the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development for the purpose failed. Chair, there is Appendix 9 attesting to that. Remedial measure, the local authority will endeavor to ensure that funds are spent within the stipulated financial year. Chair, it's on failure to secure properties with title deeds. Civic Center. The local the local authority wishes to acknowledge the observations made on failure to secure council's civic center with title deeds. However, the local authority wishes to report that at the time of audit, the copy of the title for the civic center could not be traced, could not be found. Action taken, Chair. The local authority engaged the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources for the copies, who have helped to trace the title deed, which is ready for verification. It's appended at 14. Remedial measure, Chair. The local authority will make use of the safe keeping of which title deeds, and will open the registry for safekeeping of title deeds and land records of the district. Council Lodge, Chair. The local authority wishes to acknowledge the observations made on failure to secure Council Lodge with the title deed. However, the local authority wishes to report that it could not secure the title for the property as it sits on the land that was allocated to Workers' Compensation Fund Board for exchange. Action taken, Chair. The local authority wishes to report that the council lodge has been removed from the council register and that it has been paid for the Ministry of Lands and an entry secured in the name of the said Workers' Compensation Fund. Pending, Chair. Remedial measure. The local authority will endeavor to keep an updated register for all properties alienated. Fire station. Chair. However, the local authority wishes to report that at the time of audit, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources had not issued the title yet. Action taken. However, the local authority wishes to report the Natural Resources was engaged to expedite the issuance of the title deed, and an indication has since been received that the title will soon be ready. Remedial measure. The local authority will continue to make follow-ups until the title deed is delivered. There is Appendix 14, Chair, there. For its failure to establish and maintain cemeteries, the local authority wishes to report that the failure to establish the cemetery was as a result of non-availability of a suitable identified location for public cemetery. The local authority had taken up a step to present the matter to the District Development Coordinating Committee for technical guidance, with that result to exercise part of the local forest of which was adopted by the council to exercise part of the National Forestry number 15, that Yabazi, the largest traditional cemetery in the district, for local authority to take over and for township expansion purposes. The local authority further applied for funds through Zambia Devolution Support Program to establish a cemetery, of which funds have since been received, amongst other competing needs. The Council is in the process of engaging the Ministry of Green Economy to guide on the remaining procedures for exercise of part of the forestry as guided by the Forestry Department in the district. Remedial measure. The local authority going forward will ensure that cemeteries are established and maintained in line with regulations. Chair, it's on failure to settle statutory and other obligations. The local authority wishes to report that failure to settle outstanding statutory obligations amounting to 5,441,419 was due to the financial difficulties that the local authority was facing. Action taken. The local authority negotiated for an agreement with NAPSA and ZRA of a payment plan to liquidate the outstanding contribution while liquidating current amounts that fall due. So far, the local authority has made payments amounting to 386,112 towards NAPSA and ZRA respectively. The remedial measure, Chair, is Council will ensure that there is adherence to the payment plans agreed with NAPSA and ZRA. 6, Chair, is failure to settle staff obligations. The local authority wishes to report that the failure to settle outstanding obligations amounting to 989,902 kwacha was due to the financial difficulties that the local authority was facing. Action taken, Chair. The local authority wishes to report that Samfya Town Council has gone into debt payment plans with different creditors such as retirees, terminal benefits, and long service bonus by making monthly payments against debt owing. And we have made significant progress to that effect as at 31st December 2024. There is a table, Chair, there showing the trend on how the payments have been and retirements. Remedial measure, the local authority shall endeavor to adhere to the payment plans to dismantle the historical and current outstanding debt by broadening its revenue base so as to increase resources to pay off the outstanding staff obligations. Further, the local authority has embarked on the construction of shelters to be managed 24/7 on strategic checkpoints, as well as fabrication of checkpoint barriers. This is an effort to collect revenue, Chair. Chair, failure to manage equalization fund. The local authority wishes to report that the unspent funds were committed funds for the proposed construction of a council chamber at the Civic Center at a cost of 1,100,000, procurement of a tractor at a cost of 570,313.62, and funds for incomplete ablution block at Yongoro Market amounting to 205,379.7 ingwe. The local authority wishes to report that a tractor was procured, part payment was done for the construction of the ablution block at Yongoro. As for the council chamber, the local authority wishes to state that it could not proceed with the planned construction of the council chamber after the provincial infrastructure officer established that it will cost the council 4,410,000 to construct. Appendix 9 is in reference, Chair. Remedial measure, the local authority endeavor to ensure that funds are spent within the stipulated financial year. Chair, it's failure to establish the fire station. However, the facts to attest, Chair, cause of the query, the local authority wishes to acknowledge the observation made on failure to establish firefighting services. However, the facts to attest the establishment of the fire services were available with exception of services that are directly attributed to the fire engine. Chair, action. The local authority wishes to report an established fire station with 6 officers who currently provide basic firefighting services that include the local authority will ensure that the are made available as a preventive measure for eventualities, and that a fire service engine is stored. Chair, in conclusion, the local authority wishes to assure this committee that it will be proactive in ensuring that the shortcomings and lapses raised in the Auditor General's report are given priority and adequate attention to address them well. Additionally, the local authority shall endeavor to abide by the good practices in upholding the guiding laws and regulations of each local authority functions for the benefit of the community. I submit, Chair.
Thank you very much. Colleagues, now it's time for clarifications, if any. Okay, maybe let me start just from the last submission on page 32 on the failure to establish firefighting services. You have indicated that now you have established one, and you have also stated that the local authority wishes to report that it has an established fire station with 6 officers. Are your officers insured? Looking at what they're employed for, are they insured?
In the period under review, they were insured. This year, they've just gotten the quotations we are going to pay for 2025.
So currently they are not?
Not yet. But
Okay.
in the year under review, 2023, they were insured, and 2024, they were insured.
Okay. Colleagues, another question? Dr. Mwanza?
On page 24.
Page 24.
Okay, page 24 through to 25. There's the unspent funds are 2,778,786,533, and it is Council explained how this money would be spent. 1.1 million for reserved for council chamber at a civic center, then 575,963 for the month of December as salaries, 570 for procurement of a tractor, and 205 for 205,379 for the ablution block at the Yongolo market. The tractor was procured from Saro at 575,963.79. When I look at the ledger payment, the voucher, the source of funds is from 2023 CDF. We can go to Appendix 9 to see the payment voucher. Yes, so how do we mix the funds for using CDF 2023 to procure a truck under which is not supposed to be the case? How do you explain that?
CS?
Chair, I will still direct finance to provide some information.
Yes, Chair, the observation is noted. Just realize that just the narration that
Just
hasn't
pull the mic toward yourself so that you are very audible.
Yes, it's just the narration that hasn't been put correct. However, the funds came from a capital component that we allocated for the same.
Follow-up question?
Which
Talk?
narration? So would you like to draw this voucher?
CS?
Yes, Chair. The error is considered. It's coming from equalization funds, unlike the way it was meant to say under CDF.
Doc?
The construction of the council chamber. Council had planned to spend 1,100,000 kwacha on the construction of the council chamber. At a later stage, there was communication from the provincial infrastructure officer to say the cost would be 4,410,000 kwacha. At what stage in the planning did this occur, such a sharp increase in the cost price of the proposed council chamber? Because the end result is that you ended up now varying those funds that you had set, the 1.1 million, to actually vary the funds for some other projects. So in the initial planning of 1.1 million to construct a council chamber, at what stage did you realize that the scope of work, or there was a mistake and you were only corrected by the province so many months before implementation, and yet you had the funds in your account as unspent?
CS?
Yes, Chair. Equalization funds, this is money we don't just accrue at once. It accrues in bits, because each time you are getting a 20%, you reserve, 20%, you reserve, and you go on like that. Now, under this construction of the chamber, the plan was to do the chamber itself as well as the accompaniment, meaning a bit of offices around. Now, what transpired, the council had a clear understanding that offices could be constructed, but then the chamber, it's a very big project that requires to be known how much it should cost vis-a-vis the amounts that are accruing, because equalization, you will not just get a lump sum. So it came out inevitable to consult the province when the funds were still accruing, but now council took a step to say, let's consult. Are we able to construct the whole parcel of the council chamber, including the accompanying offices? This is where now the advice came in to say, no, if we need to complete the project to that extent, we would need an amount of 4 million and above. And that, to raise that amount now became a difficult thing, because the equalization fund, to raise 4 million, it's not something that can be achieved. So the council had to think of varying the funds and pursue other projects. But it could still not do that, because the 1.1 million can still size up to do the offices which have been carried the council budget, because the accompanying infrastructure to the chamber. Thank you, Chair.
But if I heard the Honorable is saying,
Chair, the question here.
Is that Honorable Mwene? Yes, Honorable Mwene.
Yes, did you apply for a variation? And if it is so, do you have the evidence to that? Authorize the project. I submit, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Mwene. Did you get his question?
Yes, I've gotten the question. We tried to request for valuation, but that valuation was not granted. It wasn't granted. The only thing we recognized was the same amount was for the purpose of doing some offices. It will still be used for that purpose, except the chamber. We will not go that far, because what happened with equalization fund, at one point they had to cut that capital component where we are getting that fund. And when we the ministry for help now to say, could we have some additional funds? The ministry did not have the budget for that. So we are restricted only to plans of that money to do the chamber and those accompanying parcels which go with the chamber. So we didn't vary the funds.
You vary the funds. If you look at local government equalization, which is on page what? You varied the funds to 200,000 kwacha is going to be used to do the council chairman's office.
Which page are you referring to?
Let me just get there should be that page for local government failure to manage local organization. Local government, that's the query, and it is there that you have explained how. Where is that?
Thank you, Chair. I would allow my DF to give information, then I'll pick it up.
Okay. Proceed.
Thank you, Chair. So what had happened is we made the proposal to vary these funds to yes, but after we proposed and how we wanted the same funds to be used, we were denied. If you check on the resolution, you will find that the variation was denied by the honorable councillors. I submit, Chair.
Any other follow-up? Yes, Honorable Kamondo.
There is this very interesting topic on this query, which I would like actually the council secretary just to explain to the people, the Zambians, on this very good project. This is on page 21. The construction of Sun and Sand Lodge delayed operationalization. This is a project that was completed 2 years ago. Is that correct, CS? When was it completed? I know you are new to Samfya, but you.
Chair, it should be within the same stated period of 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, and whatever mind project, and it could have added actually, it was going to be one of the very good source of revenue to the people of Samfya as well as the Samfya Council. Do you think from the beginning due diligence was done on this project?
Chair, I could say due diligence was done. I would confess that we...
All right. If you do you have any copy of the memorandum of understanding which was signed? Have you ever had sight to it?
Yes, Chair. The MOU is available because that MOU it was between the local authority and workers' compensation board, where they entered into an exchange of the property. What workers' compensation wanted was to get enough land and beef up the area proposed project that they had already, the area proposed project to do with hospitality industry and the conferencing. They wanted to enlarge. And that area could only be enlarged if council could dispense the nearest property in addition to that. Then with their side, their interest was to build council this facility, so that when they build this facility for council, on a plot belonging to council, they will now at that stage swap. But Chair, I confess to say, along the way, we messed up on those obligations, because the obligation for the workers' compensation was to build and deliver the property to council. On the other hand, council was expected to leave this property which they wanted, vacate it, and exercise it so that it's in the name of workers' compensation. Now, what we noticed, which we have worked on now upon realizing that, it's to have that property be exercised in the name of workers' compensation, which we have done by payment, and now even the name of that property is for workers' compensation. Then on the other hand, as council now, we feel we have fulfilled our obligation, and them, there is no any other obligation they have to fulfill apart from letting council now to operate on that property. And that's why, Chair, in the area explanation, there are those indicators we have seen, because the capital we need, we cannot manage to run it now. But we have that initiative to say it will go on lease, realize this capital, and then the interest of the council is to run that facility itself once we have the capital. So this will go to the lease, so that it gives the council the breathing way without extended time to take over that property and operate it itself.
Yes, CS. When you look at the, Workers' Compensation Fund Board, they wrote to you on the 7th of March 2024, so that you should now start facilitating actually the handing over. Maybe for the listeners that, maybe if you can also help me to read what Workmen's Compensation by answering what they wrote to you, because you have given this as part of evidence, which is on appendix
number?
Appendix 10.
Appendix 10.
Yes. There is a letter which was written by Workers' Compensation Fund Board, and it was written on the 7th of March to the council. And this was something to do with the handover of the Samfya Lodge to Samfya Town Council. I'm sure this is some part of progress that you made. It was actually a positive on the part of the council. And they were asking you if at all this lodge could be handed over on a stated date. I'm sure this is the date, on the 23rd March of 2024. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, and then when we go to the other, you also gave them a feedback, asking them that maybe they could do it in the month of April. Is that correct? Yes. Now, I want you to read the letter for us so that even the listeners that are out there, they can understand this. What is the meaning of this letter? Maybe if you can also explain to us, explain to the committee and to the listeners out there, the one which was written on the 24th June 2024. You can help me to read it so that the people can understand what this conversation was about.
Yes, Chair. This letter authored on 24th June 2024, captioned the technical project handover of Sandy and Sandy Beach Lodge. Reference is made to the above subject matter. We wish to retract our letter dated 18th and over by Workers' Compensation Fund Control Board to Samfya Town Council by 30th June 2024. In light of an alternative exit and handover, the alternative exit and handover proposal will be communicated to you in the due course. Please be notified accordingly.
Now, from this date, when they wrote you this letter, what is the next date? And when is the official handing over going to take place? Before you start even thinking about looking for an alternative person to run your hotel, when are they going? Or have they already done actually the official handing over?
Yes. Thank you, Chair. Chair, that has not been done yet. These letters followed some discussions between the local authority and them. The suggestions which they are trying to come up with was to somehow propose the partnership before handover, to partner with the council, looking at the investment done on that. Now, that direction, Chair, it's different from the agreement. The agreement did not have any condition. The only thing was to do specific performance, conclude the building and leave it to the one who should take it, absolutely. The other one must surrender the other property, absolutely. If Workers' Compensation Board had interest to enter into partnership, they should have come to this stage because and the council has done. So yes, a letter like this may not be on the ground. Thank you.
You think that that letter may not what other evidence do you have that indeed this is now your property?
Yes. People of
we have waited there. This part with that parcel of workers could have been cleared and evidence for it, and then since we have now met this obligation, which we have done payment and the Ministry of Lands has done so, to operationalize very good indicators on the ground, because so many you operate with. Now, since the capital out needed is slightly higher than what the council has, we pray that now, because this is concluded, this is the on your marks, get set, go. This is what we expect as a community. Move from here process of EC. Right? Because it has homes, it has no beds, it has no other equipment in it. So it's just those things to be in place, which requires some substantial kind of capital out.
You are saying that you don't have resources to this. You are ready to partner with AI directly.
What this is what we have achieved. What do they own? They own the property that we have. Property plus the accompanying facility. And now we can face a different face workers' compensation. We just brought you to say there is over business world to also because as by the owner.
What evidence do you have? The reason why the official handing was not done Wakeman's but you, if that is the case, this one now, and you start using it.
Okay, possible. Is available and out from the agreement. Full page the council goes. So sure. They've entered.
Yes.
Thank you. I appear to be so we don't feel this matter will come again this way. We have a step to go further because it's a process. We started a process and this process has to be taken on to the end. So we are at the stage where we feel this is now an absolute property for us. The next stage is to see that we report on the profits that we'll be getting from the facility.
Finally.
Very interesting topic. Yes, you know, how you're struggling in terms of resource mobilization. We feel that you need to expedite the process of having this as your own property and start using it. I think that is the problem which is there. Because if we look at all the things that you should have actually achieved, because there is this low-hanging fruit which is within yourself. Now, it is giving you problems. So that this committee wanted to have from you to say that, no, I think where we are now, what we are going to do. Is all these questions, we are not going to worry us. We want you to give us an assurance that we should be, it is handed over to you, and any time you would have looked to someone else who can help you to actually running this. So you see this committee so that this is recorded, that we have assurance. If you don't have that assurance,
maybe before you respond to that, Honorable Kamondo, CS, do you have a legal department at Samfya? I'm asking this question because for me, it's more legal than administrative. When you look at the way you are
our agreement.
Messing is unparliamentary. We can use another
Could
term.
I withdraw with immediate effect,
Thank
Chair?
you.
Yes. So, why we misdirected ourselves into understanding that we just get the property without fulfilling our part. It's because we lacked advice. We didn't have the legal section of the council moved administratively, understanding. This time the local government transfer documents to that, but there was the ordering on because these officers only reported after 10th. So they will be of more use in this transition because there are these documents.
Seriously encourage you to use your legal department so that this issue can be dealt once and for all. Doc, okay, there's some from the local government, and then we'll come and seek for your last intervention, Doc. We are running out of time.
Thank you, Chair. Just a quick one. We thought as that guarantee that we shouldn't find ourselves that this item should still be queried as not operational. The minister actually is very, very keen on this project, and I think one issue maybe CS could not have mentioned, the ministry has been pushing to see how we collaborate with the line ministry under which he workers compensation, that's Ministry of Labour. And we'll just encourage the council that before you actually get back, get to our legal department, who will fast track work with you and the public investigators so that you are guided list documents and the other necessary even for your legal department. Our take is that that project needs to take off as soon as like yesterday. I submit, Chair.
So CS, that is just a piece of advice that you should consider seriously. Doc, your last intervention?
Just a simple page 23.
Page 20.
Just delayed construction of ablution block at Yongolo Market. We are told the ablution block is almost 90% complete, and we are referred to 9. So my questions, appendix 12 actually. Yeah, my question is, I've seen the financial details. The contractor has since been paid 40%, which is 103,000 kwacha as against 265,000 kwacha, his contract sum. You can see the ledger on appendix 12. So, but it's reported in your action that the project is at 90% now, and yet the contractor, the latest payment was on 10th January 2025, which was 42,197. So why is the financial progress not corresponding with the physical progress? Because the physical progress is almost complete. It's almost 100%. I mean, it's 90%. And the contractor, unless he has received another payment beside what you have provided, That is question one. Number two, on the same one, on Appendix 12, the ledger provided evidence of payment to the contractor by payment vouchers. But the last payment for the 2,797, I didn't see the voucher. Why?
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. I will take the first part. Then please, Director. Payments of these contracts that we have, they go stage by stage in terms of payments, and those stage by stage, we only do them when the contractor has made a claim. Go ahead and proceed to pay them. There are contractors who are solo, who do need to work within their own means. So even complete the end of it, that's when they will push up their claim, then we pay. So this monitoring which is showing is 9 days, and this is the evaluation by our OQ. It's not following the market. Meanwhile, the contractor is still using his muscles. We are sure to claim when he feels he can now get the sizable amount that he wants, because we cannot pursue them to ask them to come and claim for funds. Our interest is to see that they are going up in those stages that are prescribed in the BOQs. For the payments of funds, Chair, maybe I ask my director, acting director finance, to just give some information.
Yes,
yeah, but before you have indicated that you cannot ask the contractors to come and claim because others may have muscles enough to complete. But here now it's an issue of a delayed construction. Would you claim that this particular contractor has got them because you were cited for the delay of the completion of this construction? Will you wait until he comes when he is delaying the completion of this particular ablution block?
Yes, Chair. The observation is very precise. Earlier on, what we are trying to substantiate, it's the challenge this contractor faced on the delivery of his materials to the site. Because if you are in that area, it has no better, as long as the road is not established to the recommended standard, it has no better season when you can get materials. For him to move at this stage, to move in to refurbish the area, is laid by the terrain itself. When it's dry, it's sandy. Even if it may not pass. When it's a rain season like this one, again you face a challenge because a lot of water come up and you can't pass in that sand. But we tried to refurbish in those areas, which made it easier now for him to move. So that gave us a gauge to say he's a capable contractor in terms of finances, but then we cannot induce him to claim. Or to say his funds are available. When you need to claim, come and claim. If he's not claiming, then we wait. But our interest is to see that the project goes to completion now. And we are a bit comforted to be at 90% at this stage. Because what remains are just providing materials to put down and materials on site. Thank you, Chair.
We can proceed to the next question.
Observation is well noted. However, in the submission of evidence, we just sampled two, And I have the last one, the last voucher. Maybe the Secretariat can take for just confirmation. Yes, which should have been part of the so far. Documents could have been very difficult for, so we had some other file. I wish to
certificate, well, the latest one, which you are giving us the payment voucher, he submitted his latest IPC for, which was paid on 10th January this year, 10th January 2025. And your technical personnel conducted the assessment progress report area. And so which means during the time that he submitted the IPC, the works that he did to reach the level of 90% is captured in the IPC. So also, anyway, as long as he hasn't applied for those funds, you are right, you cannot ask him to apply, but I want to learn something concerning and later went to do the road, right? But motivated the council to this. Oh, for instance, these contractors, council to study with your award of contract issues of using the road shouldn't come in, because there's need for value for money. You have set certain monies aside for this particular project, and you want the community to benefit from this project within a certain time frame. But you end up in a situation which just this little abrasion block almost 1 year. How do you explain that and the way forward?
Thank you very much, Chair. Your observation is very touching, Chair. The initial projects that we were undertaking as local authorities, we could have lapsed. The site visits were being done, but in our setups, we could have lapsed in initial stages to foresee that the passages are very critical in managing contracts. And that's the more reason on my submission I was saying we will not just this time look at giving contracts. We will take into account the passage aspect, because that's what tallies well with the timing of the completion of the project. I think that I did. The Chair, the submission said the said road was So council had a program, and it has still got a program in the roads. So we did, and he also made the, but because they are usually cut off. We had some. There was an exhibit, Chair, on the areas which were looked at and patched. It should be one of the, which I was just trying to demonstrate how difficult it was for both the contractor and the people in that area. But this program, it's owned by council. We are doing the roads, and we want to ensure that the contracts that will be done, we pay much attention to the passage, because it may not be the only project suffered. There could be others which delayed also in the past. So we want to assure this committee, Chair, that we will look at that aspect diligently. When we do site visit, one of the things of our interest is to ensure that the passage on which materials will be delivered is also looked at. Otherwise, we may miss a project period. This time, I'm sure, we have a different experience. Most of the projects have moved course. Thank you, Chair.
CS, thank you so very much for coming to Parliament to come and clarify.
One buying.
It should be a bullet question.
Actually, I've just found something that is very important. If we leave it like this, it will continue repeating itself. So I thought that, sorry that I've taken you back, but it's very important. It's very pressing. On page 29, there is one observation through you, Chair. And I also wanted maybe just to advise our councils through Samfya Council. When you look at the query, that is Appendix 29, which we have been actually talking about failure to settle staff's obligations. So when you look at the way they've been paying according to them, but then the information that they are giving your committee is not complete. When we look at Appendix 18, just go to Appendix 18. I've seen many of them are like that. Now I thought maybe we bring to the attention of there is one, Monica Muselepete. Monica Muselepete, according to the payment vouchers, she has been paid, I think, more than 50,000. The first one, there is a voucher for Monica Muselepete. If you can go to Monica Muselepete, I think it is just on the middle, except that they are not numbered. I think DF is able to check. Chair, are you there?
Yeah.
You've seen payee Monica Muselepete, drawee Monica Muselepete, and this person, according to this voucher, and also when you look at the ledger itself, when you look at the ledger which was generated by the council, this person was owed about 81,007 kwacha 96 ngwe. But when you look at on the payment voucher, this Monica didn't receive this money, didn't sign for this money. Her name is not even there down to show that she received the money, the NRC was not captured, the signature is not there, the date is not there. Or even to show us actually maybe the bank transfer and whatever. What really happened, and this is just one person, but when you look at all your vouchers, they've not been signed by the people that were receiving the money. What could have really happened? And do you think that this committee should get this information and put it as part of the records?
Chair, my DF can give a bit of information to the committee.
Director of Finance.
Yes, Chair. The observation is very correct. However, previously, what used to happen, we used to do checks and bank transfers where the recipient would come and sign on the voucher, and maybe upon collection of the check would sign in the check collection register. But what has been happening now, we do bank payments, transfers directly. So what we've been doing is we get to ensure that our account is debited, for us to know that this payment has gone to the recipient, as well as we are able to generate from the system the proof of payment that this payment has been done. So that those are the measures with the effect of the technology that has come in.
Yeah, I think, yes, we understand that. Do you have the proof of payment? That is the one which I think can help us actually to put things right. Even a bank statement.
Yes, the bank statement.
Those are the things that we want, so that at least if you have them, you bring them, so that they are able actually, because we wouldn't want to just get this information, which yourself, you have even agreed that yes, and if anything, vouchers you using. Because as long as you leave it without the recipient actually signing for it, what we have here, it shows that this person didn't receive the money.
Thank you, Chair. The concern is very clear. Maybe, Chair, if I could allow the auditor just to make reference to one of the documents that is referring to the same transaction.
Thank you, Chair. So on Appendix 20, there is a bank statement which is attached, and the payment for the said Monica Mserepete was done on 20th December 2024. I submit, Chair.
Honorable, are you satisfied?
Chair, I don't wish to go through this, but this should have also been added to that appendix to make the members actually understand this. If at all it's there, what you should have done, part of that, if you used it as evidence in the other one, it should have also been used here in Appendix 18, so that it is able to support these payment vouchers.
Thank you, Chair. We concede that, Chair. Thank you so much.
CS, thank you so very much. Time is not our best ally in everything. We are grateful that you came to clarify these audit queries that were that arose from the auditors, and I think we have asked a lot of questions to assist your local authority come out of some of these areas that are looking a little bit glaring. However, CS, I want to state that Samfya has encountered governance, financial and operational challenges as noted in the Auditor General's report for 2023. Key issues to note: one, deliver goods and services to the people of Samfya. Failure to establish and maintain symmetry is one of the concerns for staff and statutory obligations. Key priority areas indicated by your committee CS is revenue expansion, as alluded to, okay? Debt clearance, project execution. You have explained. I think we have understood your terrain, but that is not an excuse, because that's how you people live, and you should always find solutions to those challenges that you face. We don't, because there are people there. You've put a market, meaning the place has got inhabitants, and those inhabitants must be serviced. So we don't want to hear that as an excuse. Service enhancement. Basically, those are some of the areas that CS, your committee, has put across for your take home. So this is where we end our interaction this evening, and we apologize for keeping you this late. I think we had what I would call a storm. Some of us, we came here completely soaked. Completely soaked. Some members actually could not even enter this room because they were not just in good shape, because they were completely soaked. So thank you very much. And at this juncture, we now retrieve our immunity that we had given you, meaning you go to Samfya and operate on other legal provisions that are within Samfya. So thank you so much, and we wish you God's traveling messages and condolences to our brother who lost his dear parent. You may extend our condolences to him. Thank you so very much.
There you have it. Samfya Town Council has wrapped up today's submissions to the Committee on Local Government Accounts, and this was under consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the audit of the accounts of local authorities for the financial year ended 31st December 2023. And the committee did receive 3 other submissions. That's from Milenge Town Council, Mwense Town Council, and Inchelenge Town Council. From me, Taza Piri, and the entire production team, I wish you a pleasant evening.